it's actually funny. So, guys, I'm glad you're doing good tonight because last Sunday I celebrated my 5-year anniversary. Woo! Thank you. I have been happily paralyzed for 5 years now. And I gotta say, I took some time to do some quiet introspection, and I discovered that anytime someone tries to console me about it, they look pretty stupid. I appreciate it, though. Like, sometimes I'm telling my story about how I got paralyzed, and they'll be like, "Oh my gosh, Michael, I never could have done something like that." Gee, and I could. What did you expect my pre-paralysis prayers to sound like? "Strike me down, God!" It worked, evidently. No, that's a good time. I think another really funny thing that happens is if I'm telling my story to someone, people got to do the offensive check. It's like, "Oh my gosh, Mike, can you tell your story if it's not offensive to you?" It's like, "Why would it be offensive to me? What can I do? Walk it off?" By far, I think my favorite thing that people do to try and help me out with life is whenever they hold the door open for me. Because if they don't do the simple hold and just let me go through, they just wind up getting caught in an awkward position, and it's really hilarious for me. Like, if I'm heading out and they're going in and they get caught halfway, they'll do one of two things. Either one, they'll like wrap their arm around the door and stand to the side like a horror movie coming out of the closet. Or they'll do that London Bridge thing where they brace themselves up against the door. Yeah, I know some of you did this once. And I got a wheel underneath your arm. I hope you showered, otherwise I'm going to be smelling My Fair Lady. My personal favorite is when there's a portico, you know, like door here, foyer for some reason. Sometimes people try to get both doors at the same time. At that point, it's just a Force Awakens. It's a good time. I will say this much though, being paralyzed hasn't denied me the opportunity to be employed. I currently work as a classical music radio announcer for Classical 89, the local station in Utah here. It's a lot of fun. It's not too hard. All I got to do is find a fun fact about the piece, open it up, and then close it when it's finished. It's fun though, because as I research these pieces of music and their composers, I discover some really funny and cracked out stuff I'm not allowed to say on air. I'm not on air tonight. So, I'll give you an example. Classical composers are actually a lot similar to modern day composers. Like Billie Eilish, you think she's the first one to brand depression? Oh man, she ain't got nothing on my boy Pete Tchaikovsky, let me tell you. There's this other dude by the name of Richard Strauss. He wrote this piece called Salome, it's a ballet. And he based it off of this story from this hit book called the Bible. You may have read it before. Anyway, there's this scene where Salome dances in front of King Herod and seduces him to behead John the Baptist. So old Richard here thought it'd be fun to write a ballet about that, and he inadvertently created the world's first striptease while doing it. I've actually watched it before, it's pretty good. Anyway, I think my favorite fact I've learned about classical composers comes from this guy by the name of Igor Stravinsky. He's the guy who wrote the Firebird Suite, aka that one piece from Fantasia 2000 where the nature lady burns to death at the end. Anyway, he wrote this piece called The Bees. I won't say what it's about. And he has this quote about the bees that I want to put on a sticker. "I want the melody of the bees to be suddenly fierce, like a toothache, and then all at once relaxing, like cocaine." I know, right? Okay, first off, that is the best boxing moniker I think I've ever ironically heard. Fierce like a toothache, relaxing like cocaine. Second off, what was this man on? To the point where cocaine was relaxing. And where can I get some? Oh, it's a grand old time. It's funny though, because most of my audience is geriatric, so either they won't get it or they'll probably be offended that I say something like that. But you know, I always figure that in the event I ever got shown the door for my conduct, they'd probably look really stupid doing it. That's all I got for you guys, thank you.